Hello. Right, sorry, I'm just waiting for Facebook to catch up with me so I can see if there's enough light, as it were. Hi, Susan. Right, I know there's some glare because that's on the plastic packaging. But once I get the stencils out, hopefully the glare will disappear. It's getting used to having proper light again. Ugh. Hi, Jane. Hi, Helen. Hi, Malcolm. Sorry, it's cold. I've got a hot drink as well. Oh, bitter today. How is everyone? Everyone survived the festive season? We had a bit of a clear-up day today. Ready for the dustbin men tomorrow. Considering there was only 2 of us, I can't believe how much recycle rubbish we made. Hi, Tanith. How are you? A little birdie tells me something, Tanith. Yay! Hi, Christine. Hi, Jane. Right, okay, tonight I thought we'd have a little bit of a play. I got some new goodies for Christmas. Been on my wish list for a while. I've got some Dylusions bits. Now I've got some of the stamps, which is like the girls' images with the clothes. I just love that. Isn't it cute? And then I've got some of the curlies, or the Curlicues, and I've also got some of the foliage fillers. Right, I'm going to clean that because that's going to bug me. So I thought we'd have a play with some of those, and I'm going to make some backgrounds up. So I'm using an archival ink cleaner, so if you've got any of these, they work brilliantly to get all the ink off. I'm only doing it because they're new. Once I've had them a while, it won't bother me that these are mucky. So I've got a few of those. I want to create a background with them. I've got a mixture of stencils. So I've taken some of Sir Tim's and Dina Wakely's, and also I've got some of the Dylusions stencils as well. I've got a couple of these, you know, like for journaling. I love using stencils when I do my doodles and everything like that. So that was just perfect. So we've got those. But what I thought I wanted to do first of all is, rather than just stamp the images and colour them, I thought it would be good to create some backgrounds. Hi, Rennie. Hi, Caroline. So not all the time do we want to stamp and colour. Sometimes it's great just to, you know, use backgrounds, make backgrounds. Now I've got loads of pre-made backgrounds already, but I thought it'd be nice to have a play with the oxides and just make some random backgrounds and then stamp some of the images on. So we can have a little bit of inky fun, and at the same time we can do a bit of stamping. We can do a little bit of everything. So I'm just going to move the stencils. Where? Oh, I'll put them there. Because it's great seeing everybody colour, but you know, sometimes it's nice to go for nice, quick, easy ways of colouring. Hi, Bev. Hi, Dominic. Hi, Noreen. So I thought it'd be really cool just to create some backgrounds, nothing fancy, just using some of the oxides, and then turning everything into like a collage if we get that far. But these are my new stamps. Oh, sorry. Can you tell I'm excited? Right, so now I can't be the only one who does something like this. Now this is the wallet I have for these are all the scraps of white, cream card, watercolour card that are just too good to throw away, and I keep them in a wallet, and I think to myself, oh, I'll use them. And I'm being honest, 9 times out of 10 the only time I dig them out is when I find a strip like that which is perfect to stamp a sentiment on, or maybe a smaller stamped image. So I thought I'm going to try and use up some of these and make some backgrounds with them. So if I just grab, and I'm not going to, I want to grab some different colours, and all the card type, it's different. It's not all just watercolour. It's not just, it's a mixture of absolutely everything in here. I mean, that looks like a, oh, that's a watercolour. Oh, that looks linen. That's a linen cardstock. What else? So I just want to grab some random sizes. That's a pearlescent. Oh, that'd be interesting. That's, I think that's something pretending to be watercolour. That's a card blank of some description. What have I got this side? Oh, look, that's a card I obviously made, and then I tore the back off and thought, oh, I can use that. Let's grab that. That's the same as that. So let's just grab a few bits. So it's a mixture of different cards. I think sometimes when we do things, oh, Jane, you've made my evening. It's, I mean, I started out with good intentions with my wallet like that. I did originally have them split like, that's watercolour, that's this, that's that. And then in the end, I just put them all in there. But I very rarely grab them, or I'll grab a new piece of card, or I'll create a tag, or I'll do something like that, rather than use up my scraps. So I end up with this scrap. I take it with me absolutely everywhere and very rarely use it, sort of thing. So, hi everyone who's just arrived. Do you know, Facebook kills me. 1 minute it's so slow, a snail's quicker. Next minute the comments go, nyong, nyong. Dominique, what ink can you use on pearlescent paper? Most inks you can use. Some inks will just take a little bit longer to dry. But you can use most inks on most types of paper. Obviously, some inks are better and are designed for different papers. But if you've got a clear embossing powder, you can, you know, use any paper, put the ink on, and then put clear embossing on, or any embossing powder for that matter of fact. So it's all that there. So I thought it was rather cool. We'll just make some backgrounds. I've got some made already, hence my mucky fingers. I was prepping. And I thought, right, I'm going to have a quick moan. As Bev is on, Bev, when are you getting some of these back in? And the alcohol ink ones, pretty please. Right, okay. So that's my shopping over and done with for the new year. Well, right, I want to create some greens. So I'm going to work with the oxides. I'm going to get some mowed lawn, my favourite colour, peeled paint. Let's get some pine needles. I love cracked pistachio and evergreen. Oh, I think I've got most of the greens out. I want to grab a yellow as well. Where's my yellows? Hi, Steve-o. Shah told me you're using purple eczema. I know, and you weren't even there to witness it. I don't know. I'm going to blame it on Christmas. Right, I'm going to get some antique linen and some squeezed lemonade just to add some different shades to the green for there. And I want to grab a blue. Let's go for... Actually, let's go darker for a change. Some faded jeans and some chipped sapphire. Normally I default to Mermaid Lagoon. And then I just need my spritzer. I've not had any problems, Beatrice, with the ink pads stored vertically. Now, saying that though, I mean the storage tins are designed for the oxides or they'll work for the distresses. Some people have said that they've had leakage, you know, when they've been stored like this, that the ink has run. Now, I'm going to say that's an overfilled ink pad, not necessarily a dodgy ink pad. It's probably overfilled. If it bothers you, this storage can, let's put the lid on there, can stay that way up. So if I wanted to keep them so then they're flat, so I can store them that way if I wanted to as well. And so it's horses for courses, really. But I haven't personally, but I have heard of people saying that, yeah. Right, let's create a few. What I want to do in my head is something that Dyan Reaveley's done before. And I don't know whether you've seen, she loves doing, well, Dyan Reaveley is known for her collage as well as her doodles. But she also does like the layered thing with her girl images, and I thought we'd go for a little bit of that. Joe, no one's late. I was a little bit late starting. Do you know, I always seem to get an update at the wrong time. So I want to add a little bit of squeezed lemonade, and let's add a bit of shabby shutters. Now I'm going for greens. I want to start off with greens. So in my head, I want to do some backgrounds that are greens for like leaves, and then I want to do some colours for some brighter colours. So we'll do it that way. So I'm just going to spritz. Now I'm not going for anything. Let's tear that. This is really thin card. This is Craft Perfect. I'm not going for any great smushing techniques. I'm just going to pick up, as you can see, this card is thin, so the ink is going through, so this will give me a totally different look on it compared to something else. So I'm not going for a smushing. I just want to pick up some colour for some, and then some smushing for others, she says. So there we go. Because some of the paper won't take me blasting it with lots of water, because I don't know what I've got in here, whereas others will allow me to do that. So that one, and let's just pick that. So let's give that a quick dry. So look, I'm being really good and keeping it away from my mat. Saying that though, I did, well, she says I did get out. Oh, I did get out, look, I was really good. So Bev couldn't moan at me. I did get out my mat as well. So I just want to, so this is obviously quite a thin cardstock, and it wasn't designed for doing a wet inky technique. Sorry, I'm trying to see, I'm in the screen. Right, so that's one. Let's put that way, move that. Oh. You know, you go, where shall I file that? Let's file that there. So let's grab again, let's do some pine needles this time, and again shabby shutters, and I want to grab a little bit of chipped sapphire. I'm going to spritz that. Right, let's see what I've got here that's slightly thicker. Oh, that's a bit thicker. Right, this feels like it is a watercolour card. So if I spritz the card, it's going to make these move a lot quicker than if, as you can see there, and then when before, where I just dabbed it on straight away. So I just want to build up a few backgrounds. Oh, I should get the mat out, but life's too short, sorry. Sorry, my phone died. What did I miss? I know you do, Bev. Bev, I'm just making a whole load of backgrounds, just using oxides and using all my scraps of card. I'm not sure what different types of card it is. I thought that would be quite the excitement, actually, to see what I've got and what, you know, what works and what doesn't work. Because everything does work. That thinner piece of card, if I covered it in embossing ink and then put embossing powder on the top, I've then got a thicker piece of card. So there's always a way round different things. So let's put a little bit more water, and I just want to grab, let's have a think. Let's grab a bit of green there, and a little bit there, and I'll put a bit of the chipped sapphire there. Grab some there. Because what I can, you see, once I've made the backgrounds, I can go over with some stencil designs as well. But the goal was just to make anything and everything that I could, just using up these little scraps. Right, I'm going to leave that there because I'm going to add some stenciling to that one and fill the white that way, I think. Right, let's see. Oh, that's done that one. Let's try a different colour. Right, I've got some pearlescent here. So I'm going to cut this in half because I want to try it. I want to do the pearlescent with a different colour. And see, look, the ink, compared to that, the ink is sitting on the top because of the way the pearlescent is. But that doesn't mean it's not going to work. So it will just give me a totally different blend effect because of the way it's sitting on top, which is really cool. Right, let's spritz that a little bit, and I can move that around, and then I just want to pick up a bit of the green that I've got. Right, let's dry that off. I mean, you can do this. I'm using white card. Main reason is why don't sell Lou any till I get one. Noreen, the difficulty is, you see, I badger Bev. I'll actually message her. She'll say, oh, I've just put an order in for, and I'll go, right, okay, can I put my order in now? Can I have this, 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 and this, and this sort of thing? And then the last time I saw on the Be Crafty Facebook page that Bev put up, you know, Ranger order came in, and I think before I'd even read the rest of the post, I was on the website, and I think I ordered loads of the different types of storage. I do love it, I must admit. I am a bit of a storage geek. I do love a little bit of storage, I must admit. So, I want to put there. Now, I know I shouldn't, but I'm going to put a little bit of squeezed lemonade there. So I just want to pick it up dry. And there we go. And just have those little bits of yellow popping through. It's a great way. It's a great way, Kim, of satisfying, you know, the need to get messy. For one, and then being able to do something with it as well. Also, I'm a great believer in, you know, we're really good at making all these lovely backgrounds, but we should use them, you know, and I think sometimes we're devils at not using them. So, oh, I like that swipe, actually. Oh, that looks really quite watercolory. Oh, I'm going to do that, actually, and then we'll stencil on top of that one. Oh, right, so. And being oxides, they dry quite quickly. And because I'm not using large amounts of water, the card is drying quickly as well, which is a double bonus. I love my storage. I love my storage. Badger isn't even the word, sorry. I just seen Bev's comment. I know, I'm sorry, Bev. But I do love my storage. And part of that is because obviously demoing, it's great that, you know, when you're going back and forth, you can just grab. I know that in those tins are, like, say, for example, my oxide. In my other tins are, you know, my mini ones. Then I've got my alcohol ink tin. I've got my distress crayons tin. So it helps me. Now, I know I'm using baby wipes, but I will use baby wipes and kitchen towel in my crafting. I'm just gonna, and I hang them to dry because you can stamp on them once they're dry. You can put embossing powders. I did a live, oh, I don't know when, showing what I did with all my different tissues and wipes, and they make a really good, if you're using clothing and things like that, using a dry wipe with all your ink mop up on is fantastic. Right, I want to keep those two, and let's make, I'm just going to put them away. And I know this will make Bev laugh that I'm tidying up as I go along. And let's grab some crackling camphor. I know they're very similar. I love candied apple, carved pumpkin. Oh, let's get out. Right, look, because Steve-O's on. Seedless preserves. And wilted violet. Look, Steve, I'm being kind. Ugh. I'll put them to one side just for the moment. You like making storage, Joan? Yeah, I do. Is that why my desk looks so tidy to others? Possibly, Steve, possibly. I do tidy up as I go along, I must admit. Like, for example, if I'd made a whole load of backgrounds now, let's use antique linen. I will tidy up one thing before I go on to the next. It's just, it's a habit. I think, actually, if I'm going to be honest, it's the teaching, working in schools. Because, obviously, you tidied up before you moved on, as such. Right. Now, the antique linen is a fantastic neutral colour. Absolutely superb. I'm not sure what this is, but we'll do this one. I find it a really cool, natural to lighten things. And the crackling campfire, it goes beautifully with that. Right, let's just do that. I must admit, I did hint rather heavily that I wanted the new green, but Santi wasn't brilliant there. I shouldn't moan, actually. I got my paintbrushes that I wanted. Got some stamps. I got some new beads to add to my... I only wear 2 bracelets, but I do have a few more. That's only because they get a bit heavy after a while. Alright, let's add that there. So as you can see, the antique linen, if I stop waving my gun around, then you'll probably be able to see better. The antique linen looks absolutely brilliant when it mixes in. It's just got a really nice neutralising effect. So, let's... and I really love the candied apple. I think it's one of my favourite red colours. I like it in both the distress and the oxide. And in the distress spray, it's beautiful. Right, let's just give that a little bit of spritz of water as well. And move it around a bit. Right, so we've got that there. Didn't seem like Christmas. I suppose because ours are older and got partners now, we've got used to... Because obviously you've got to share your time with them and their parents, their partner's parents, and so on and so forth. So we've got used to having every other Christmas by ourselves. So we absolutely love it. We will do things like, I think yesterday we decided we'd have a massive fry-up. We didn't have to have turkey, so we had lamb instead, which was really nice. Right. And that's, so every second Christmas we get the chance to be a little bit more selfish. Spend some time with the purples. Yeah, maybe not quite so much as I'm doing with the others, Steve-o, but of course I will. Right, let's grab this pearlescent. Okay. So as you can see with the pearlescent, compared to that, which is more of a normal cardstock, the ink is sitting on top of the pearlescent, but it doesn't mean you can't use it. It just reacts in a totally different way. So, I want to... There. And I'm going to put a little bit more candied apple. And I know we shouldn't really be putting it down on a wet page, but it will be fine if I don't keep it there for too long. So let's pick some of that up. So I'm not going for stylised backgrounds. I'm just creating a little bit of a mess. See, for us for Christmas as well, my eldest son's birthday is the 19th of December. So we've always had it. There was always 9 times out of 10 it was the last day of term. So, and that was also the weekend that people would disappear to either do their last bit of shopping or go and see the relatives that they weren't seeing at Christmas. So we've always done something in July. So that's all we're going to do this year as well. Right, I'm just going to mop this last little bit up. I'm just going to wet this and really make this one. Let's make this really wet and see what happens. This might all merge into one, but I'm not really worried. Oh, that's nice. I love the watercolour effects. I think we're so used to putting down our oxides quite heavily. that sometimes I think we also forget that we can get some really cool light effects as well. Right, I like that watercolour effect. I'm going to leave that like that because then I'm going to stencil on top. Right, so I'll do some purples and then we'll get cracking with some stamping. There's only so much background making you can watch any one person do. Well, especially when I'm not even really making a background. I'm just splodging ink. Also, it means I don't... right, so that's there. So once this is dry, I mean, I'm stopping. So like, for instance, this is dry. If I wanted to, I can go back over. But it's better when if you dry in between your oxide layers. Otherwise, so I can create even more pattern and go over. And you can build up your layers and your colours that way with oxides, which is, I think, a little bit cooler than the distresses for that. Because being a watercolour, like a true watercolour, the distresses will blend into each other like a normal watercolour, really, I suppose. Right, so I'm going to do that one there. Right, I've got this here. I'm going to clean the board. And because Steve-O's on, I will grab a bit of purple. Right, I want to clean this so I get as much colour on it as possible. Isn't this sad now, using your wipe to get as much colour as possible? Right, let's do that. Okay, I'm just going to hang that to dry. Let's do this. No, I'm wait for next year. I'll be at my summer abode, the caravan. Oh, that sounds lovely, Noreen. I must admit, we haven't been, my dad lives in Hove. I haven't been down there since lockdown because they're not well and we can't go down and visit as much as I would like. Right, I'm gonna go for the antique linen again. And let's grab, oh, this is like linen effect paper card. I want to wet that a bit more. We'll put a bit more water there. And because it's wet, the colour is blending a little bit quicker. So, a little bit there. I'm getting better, Helen, using purple. I think it's all the nagging from Steve-O. See, we always put our decorations up late anyhow because, like I said, my son's birthday's the 19th. So, I'm going to leave that one like that. And let's mop up some of these now. This is like a watercolour. Right, and then we'll get on with some stamping. Right, I want to make this quite watery. Dry that and then we'll put some more on. Is everybody else's heat gun gets all grubby and horrible? Or am I the only one? Nobody would see them for the crafts. Oh, so is your caravan your second crafting home, Noreen, as it were? Does that mean, Noreen, you have two of everything? So you have one for home and one for the caravan? Or do you trail it all back and forth? I'm just curious and being nosy. Right, let's build that there. Let's use some of that antique linen up on there. Actually, this is not looking too bad, I suppose. She says through gritted teeth. I'm actually looking forward to when I can go over to Ireland and actually catch up with my mum properly as well. It's because I know my brothers and sisters, one brother, one sister lives near my dad and stepmum, so I know they've got people nearby, whereas mum in Ireland hasn't got any of like us lot nearby. So it'd be nice to be able to catch up properly. Right, so I'm just going to do the last bits of these and then we'll get cracking on some stamping. I want to do a nice watercolour effect on this, and then we can stencil over the top. I trail it there in March and trail it back in November. See, I'm lucky, my mum crafts, so I only need to take over basics if I take anything over with me. Oh, this was obviously some sort of thinner card, because it's starting, it wasn't designed for water, but oh, it's got some really nice spots on it that have appeared because of the makeup of the card. Oh, I quite like that. Right, I'm not going to waste that. Let me just grab my book for this one. And right. Okay. And then I'll wipe the excess off with a wipe. Oh, look at that. It's squidging right out. Oh, that's cool. Right, I'll let that dry. Put that over there. And just wipe that up. And then I'll keep that, because that will actually create, as I said, a background of some description. Right, okay. Now let's grab, I'm going to start with the colours that I made first, which are like the greens. And I quite like the idea of going for a peel paint maybe on that, or a shabby shutters. Let me have a think. I'm going to get mowed lawn out for that one, because it's got little bits there. But let's get, what have I done with my peel paint? Is it over here? Oh, look, it's right over here in front of me. Couldn't see for looking. And let's grab a sponge. Now, I must admit, I haven't washed my sponges in a while. So let's just grab and they do need a wee bit of a birthday. So that's going to be my job at some point. And I'm going to grab this stencil. I just want to pick up bits of it. And I don't want too much. I just want a little bit of it. Now, if you've ever watched Dyan Reaveley, she always says two things. That if you're making a background, the idea is it's meant to be in the background. So therefore, you don't overdo it, sort of thing. Which I get. But then sometimes I think it's nice to, you know, go for it as well. So, do that like that. And we've got that one there. Alright, let's grab another stencil. I will clean that into my journal a bit later. Let's go for, I'm going to go for the flowery one. I love these stencils where you've got more than one design on top. So I'm using a mixture of peel paint and mowed lawn. And just do a little bit there. So you want to cover a bit of the white up, but not all the white up. There we go. So that's that one. And this is that pearlescent. It looks really quite funky. So, well, it's come out quite nice actually. Just use up the ink on here. And like I said, I will spritz these. So that's come out quite nice. So let's grab the orangey colours we had. I'm going to quickly clean that off. And sacrilege, I'm going to just wipe it and not put it in my journal. Those of you, sorry, who do it. Right. Just for speed tonight, I'm going to do that, and because I want to use it. Right, okay. Let's move those, and I want to grab the crackling campfire, and let's just add, not too many, but some of the little flower designs. So we've got a few different places. Has anybody been, any TV, or is it me, this Christmas has been absolute pants, considering, you know, we're all at home a little bit more. I thought it's been absolute bleh this Christmas. I must admit, I've got to say actually to you all a huge, huge, huge thank you. So I'm looking for a new sponge as I'm talking. To that post I put up last month about, yes, Emma, that post I put up about asking for different box sets and different things to binge and watch. Well, my husband and I have been going through it. It's been brilliant. Thank you ever so much. We're like, oh, I wrote them all down because I knew I'd lose the thread at some point. Right, okay. So I'm just going to do that and leave that with that background. Let's get some candied apple on this one. Oh, that's cool. Do you know, I think I'm going to leave that like that. So that's them. Right, let's grab the purples. And let's put some lids back on. And let's go for a little bit of seedless. You know, let's go from wilted violet. You know, if I'm going to use purple, I might as well. And I'm going to go for this one a little bit with the stencils on. Change the sponges. I must give my sponges a bit of a birthday. Will someone tell me what Lou said? I'm going back up the comments. Sorry, Emma, I saw a bit of your comment. Yep, TV. Total big wide front pants, glad. Will someone tell me what Lou says about the stencil, please? It's a Dyan Reaveley one, Emma. She said yes. Ooh. I'm going to have to see about what I said yes to. I think she said at the start it was an old one. Might have been Dylusions. These stencils are Dylusions, yeah. Oh gosh, but if I put my thing on properly, it would be better, wouldn't it? But yeah, no. It has been utter twaddle. I know Christmas, you know, we've got to have some of the repeats, the old favourites. But oh. Even some of the new programmes they put on. I wanted to watch the one about the tube, because obviously the tube was the thing I always watched on a Friday night before we went out for a wee drink or two. And even that was really bland. I was a little bit disappointed with that, I must admit. So let's grab a little bit of seedless preserves. And put that on there. Right, that is about as much as my purple palette will allow me to do. Right, let's just tidy up some of these. And now, in normal circumstances, I would clean these, but I want to use the stencils a bit later for some doodling. So let's just dry that off. File that over there. And like I said, I don't throw my wipes away. I do use them. I have like a little washing line. You know, those are ones that you get from those washing line. Emma, I'm really trying with purple. It is not my colour. I don't seem to be able to get it to blend properly, and it just seems to be then turns into one big mess. I think that's probably why as well. Right, I'm going to get rid of my sponges. Let's just move them out of the way. And let's just get rid of some of these oxides, because I don't need them at the moment. So let's just do a bit of tidying up. And I know I'm putting them back into their little colour family boxes, which makes me a bit happier. Right, so they're going to go there. Let's move them out of the way. And you see then I've got a little bit more space. So out of all those cards I picked up, I've only used half a dozen, and I've still got all those little bits left. So I could keep going forever and a day. But then I do this trick a lot when stamping, when I don't want to colour, basically. Right, okay, so we've got these. These are some of the backgrounds that we made. I'll grab an archival ink and let's bring the stamps in. So these, so I thought what we'd do is like this one is like foliage fillers. I thought that could go on the green. That could go on the green. I think those would also look good as, you know, foliage fillers as well as flowers. Oh, so I'm going to grab this one first. I've been playing with them all. Let's grab a stamp block. Oh, I'm going to have to go up a size. I didn't want to, but there we go. Right, and let's go for the greens first. Let's do some of the greens. I'm not pulling your leg, no, I promise, guys. It's not a colour I wear either, really. After I said that, I mean, I've gone and had a look in my wardrobe, and I'm not a purple person. And then I thought I'll have a look around the house to see if we've got anything purple. Oh, stamps too, yes, Emma. Right, so I thought, so what I want to do is I want to use my backgrounds as my colouring, basically. So I'm being lazy. Big stencil is on Hotchi next. Gosh, you guys know more than I do. Right, so that go on there. Oh, I like that. Let's do it on. No, let's do it on this one here, which is that thinner one. Now, because it's all different types of card, I'm not getting the crispest of images, but that's because this is a heavy-duty watercolour card. So it's soaking in the black ink, which is brilliant because it adds another layer, another texture, which I think is cool. All right, let's just put that there. Because you can do your stamps this way. I know we do them the other way. Everett no purple. You can try, Steve-O. You can try. I'm being honest. See that? Oh, look, yeah, where this has got like a linen texture and that's on there. Oh, that's cool. I like that one as well. Right, where's my cloths? I keep saying these need a bit of a birthday. And they still sit in the pile ready to be washed, and I still haven't done them. Right, the other one I thought would look really cool as this one as foliage. Now I've got too big a block. But hey. This one, I've had great fun with this one. As everybody knows, I do rather love a Sakura pen. I know I bring them to Old Selly Telly, but I do actually genuinely use them. The reason I fell in love with this was I thought I could doodle. Where's my book? Hold on. I've got to show you what I was playing with earlier. Because I fell in love with it. Hold on. And it was with those stamps. Ooh. Where is it? I'll get there in a minute. Look. That's that same stamp. Stamped with white. And then doodled in. Oh. The big stencil, yeah, I did, Sarah Lou. But that is just brilliant for doodling in. Oh, that's why loved it. Loved it. Right, put the book back and open it back up on the page. But that's why I fell in love with this set. Because doodling doesn't have to be you doodling. Doodling is use the stamps you've got. Use absolutely everything you've got. doodling side stamps, everything. Make the doodling your colouring. Hey, look at that on that background. And that was just that inky background, then putting the stenciling on top and then stamping that. So when I cut that out, I've got all those different mottled effects like you would get for a leaf. Well, that's my excuse anyhow. But I think this is a great way of doing quick, effective colouring. Let's have a think. I'm going to go this way with it now. I'm being really tight with this now because I like this background, I've decided. So I've worked out I could probably get another one there. And I could probably get 4 on this little tiny bit of card. Sarah Lou, you make me laugh. Right. I think that is just brilliant. Love that. Right, so okay. I actually quite fancy that one then on this. This one mainly was the... I know it's crackling camphor. I want to call it cackling. I don't know why. But this is on that pearlescent, and I think that would look cool as well with this one. So, here we go. Oh yeah. That looks cool. I can see the pearlescent and the oxide. So you've got the chalky effect of the oxide. And then I've got the pearlescent coming through. Oh, I quite like that. Right, let's just clean that down. About as much as my... Do you know, it's dreadful, isn't it? I have stamp cleaners. And I think more of my actual stuff, like my blocks and my stamping bits, get cleaned with the stamp cleaners. Janet, they are the Dylusions range by Dyan Reaveley. They're by Ranger. Ranger brings them out. Now, I'm going to say now on my live, because before I forget, Ranger are putting their prices up in the new year. But when I asked someone about it, apparently Ranger haven't put their prices up for 15 years. So the price of a Distress ink pad or an Oxide ink pad has not gone up in price since they were launched. So I suppose in that respect, I suppose a price raise was due. Look at that. So that is on the purple. Okay, I'm going to give you this one, Steve-o. It does look cool on the purple. But where I've got the stenciling coming through on all the different pattern, it's like I've created shading, but for free because I'm doing it on the background. That is cool. Let's try that on the yellow. Right, this one's watercolour, so I might have to do it the other way. So this is all I'm going to do is I'm just going to create some backgrounds and then we'll cut a few out. I won't create... Quite fancy it being there with a little bit of the yellow showing through. Karen, Hessian, and now, yeah, as Emma said, pretend it's paper and do what you normally do. If you're not sure, first of all, because I wasn't, I actually created backgrounds and stuck them to the Hessian pages. And then, after a while, I sat there and thought, oh, I wonder if I did that background on the Hessian, what it would look like. And gradually I became braver and braver. Oh yeah, that is turned out really cool again with the... where the antique linen has come through with the purple. That looks cool. So, right, let's get rid of that one. Let's try a different one now, as I seem to be using the same stamp set. Oh, there's a bit of green left over. Okay, what have I got here? I have to say, I think I love those two. And then that one. This one is super funky. Let's stamp that one. I did clean that one. Right, I will stop stamping. Right, let's do this one on here. I'm going to try and go for it. Now, I know it's got an eye in it, but I want to try and go for where I've got a bit of the stenciling pattern, some of the flower. So, oh, look how cool that looks. And where I've got all that different stenciling in there, it's given me, so when I cut that out, so I could go in between those if I wanted to, but it's given me a really cool effect. I like that. All right, let's try it on, because I have got a load done, so otherwise I'm just going to be sitting here going, I like that, I like that. Let's try it on here, where we've got a little bit of the yellows as well. Should have done more purples. Oh, I'm so sorry, Steve-o. I really am. So, here we go. That's it on the purple. Oh, it looks cool, actually, with that little bit of yellow. Now, for the best will in the world, if I tried to colour purposely with the yellow and the purple around, it would have ended up muddy. Right, so, we've got quite a few. Let's clean this. But before, let's put that away. I've already done some already. So I'm just going to move those to one side for the moment. And, okay, which head? That sounds really, doesn't it? Sounds terribly shocking. Feels like I should be making like a B-movie, horror movie. Shall we use Maisie Lilly, or shall we do the Ty's the Limit as the head? Which one do you fancy? So that's Maisie Lilly, which is my right, and Ty's the Limit is my left. So which head shall we go for? And I'm going to cut some bits out while we're waiting. Oh. See, these are some of the other backgrounds I did earlier, look. With all the different leaves. I mean, look at that with the blues and the greens. And then that one with the yellows. I mean, I even stamped some of the images in the oxides as well. It's just that, look at that, where it's created on the background. I probably could watercolour it like that, but I mean, why, when you can have fun making backgrounds and creating coloured images? Maisie's got it. Okay. Sorry, lovely. Okay, let's get some cards. Let's grab her and see if I've got a big enough piece of card here. Yay. A stamping block would be a good idea. I think, yeah, Maisie would probably look good because of all the different flower designs and everything like that. Now I'm going to stamp this straight away. Normally I'm being honest because this is the first time I've stamped Maisie. I've been so obsessed with the florals. I have done some, and the feet. I'm obsessed with the feet. Goodness knows why. But I would normally stamp the first time I do a stamp. I would normally make it into a mask, but this time we're just going to go for it. Because I'm going to colour her last, but as it were. Put the lid on there. And let's just put that down. The greens, yeah. It's a great way. So if I love my jelly plate and I make oodles of jelly plate backgrounds and everything like that. But I am a great believer in, you know, using your backgrounds. Whether you use them to make papers or whatever, use your backgrounds. Oh, look, she's turned out really cool. She looks like she's had a couple of injections on her lips, which is cool. I'm just going to put my blocks away. Right, so let's put the stamps away for the moment. Just put that big block away. Scissors, I have scissors out, here we are. I'm just going to max away. Right, I want to grab a piece of mixed media card. I'm going to grab my chair and sit down. So, foot fetish. Oh, I don't like feet. I have webbed toes. So I'm not a great lover of feet, I must admit. Now, I'm going to create a background on here, but I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do yet. I didn't know whether well, I'll show you what I mean in a moment. I was going to use some of the backgrounds I've made and have the white as my matte and layer. And then actually start from a white page rather than actually start from an inky page. And that way I thought all these images and all the backgrounds that's been made will take centre stage. In my head, that's what I'm thinking anyway. Alright, there we go. She's got quite a rad haircut, hasn't she? You know, it's very, I don't know if I'm going to show my age, very Claire Grogan. If everybody remembers that singer. That sort of haircut. Mind you, I was letting people on that in my youth I had a Mohican, and when I parted it, it looked like that, like a bob. Right, so always cut with big scissors. The only nice feet are a baby's feet. Yeah, I totally agree. So what I wanted to do in my head was I want to have her here, and I want to create some Dyalog boxes so I can journal in. So what I thought we could do is, so I will colour her up separately, but I want to take some of these elements. I'm just going to just roughly cut them out and then I'll cut around them. And I leave a border, if I'm being 100% honest, for no other reason than I just find it quicker to cut the images out. Not for any other reason than that. It's just a habit I've got into. When you're prepping, if it's quicker, go for it. I'm being honest. Hi Kay, how are you? Sally, the large scissors really came about at school because, as I said before, the children wouldn't touch the large scissors because obviously they belong to the adult. If it was anything smaller, you know, it was deemed as open to capture and use. So the only way I could keep a decent pair of scissors at school was to have big scissors. Now, saying that, the other adults in school sort of thing, I had and another teacher I worked with, we used to have two big pairs, one that would say material and one that would say paper. That, I mean, many an adult didn't read that either. So when you came to do sewing projects with the children, I sit and think, why are these not cutting? Then I think, oh, I bet someone's borrowed them for paper. So right, let's just get rid of that. Whoa. So what I wanted to do is I'm going to have her there. Now, if you've ever been in the Dyan Reaveley class, she starts with the girl here and fans out. I wanted to make this into some form of journaling page, but with a quote. So what I thought was we could build up where we've got these flower images behind. So I've got that one there. And rather than stamp and create lots of masks, which I could do, I thought it would be easier to have this, because in doing things like this and then cutting them all out, you can move your background around, and you can reposition all the different bits that you've got to suit you. Hi Nathalie, how are you? Hi Mum, how are you? I sent my mum a WhatsApp the other day for a Ryanair advert. I don't know if anyone's seen the Ryanair. I suppose I shouldn't be saying. All I can say is it is 100% crass. But then, as my eldest son said, someone was bound to do it. Right, so I thought, well, like where we've got these like that, let's grab a green. And like this one here, where we've got this one on the green. I wouldn't call it fussy cutting so much, Nathalie, because some of these images are really, really cool and big, nice to cut out. which makes cutting 100% easier. My husband gets a bit cross with me because he has, shall I say, a scan and cut, and he'll say, why don't you stamp these and then put them on the scan and cut? And I think, so by the time I've got it out, plugged it in, worked out if the actual carrier sheet is sticky enough and this, that and the other, I could have had these cut out. So, okay, what's the weather like where you all are? We've had mist all day. Hi, Caroline. We've had perpetual mist all day. Bev and Julia have been putting photos in the admin group. They've managed to find snow and go off and have snowball fights and play in nice, deep, proper snow, whereas we've had grey, horrible, wet mist all day. Right, okay, so let's cut around there. I won't do it now, but I'm going to be honest and say I would probably cut that bit away, only because that's me. So then I thought, like, we've got like the green and the flowers sitting there, and we will gradually build this up and up and up. Right, let's do, see, like I said, I've got loads here. Got another one of those flowers there. And I have to say, I love this background. This was putting seedless preserves with the crackling campfire. And I think the way the two colours are blended together, I didn't think they would come out particularly well. But I think they really look really uber cool together. See, I can just about cope with the seedless preserve because I think it's got a little bit more, because it's got a bit more of a pink red tone to it. Alright, so let's just cut this around and around, so that would then tuck behind there. And let's grab some more of the yellowy colour ones we've got. Well, let's grab this one as well. I like the way this one's come out with the shading. So really, so tonight's live was creating backgrounds and then stamping on the backgrounds as a quick way to colour. Now we could have done masking techniques and layered it all up, but as to pay homage to Dyan, as she loves her collage and layering, I thought that would do it that way. So we've got this one here. So that could go in there. We'll bring the flower. That sits there like that. I can then put another flower. Let's grab another flower. Oh, look, I even stamped, look at the difference. I stamped that on one of those backgrounds. Let's pull it out, compared to the green. So the green looks like leaves, but now there it looks like flowers. It's amazing, what, depending on what colour you stamp on, how things change. Right, so let's do that there. Add that there. I'm going to put green. So this is why I love cutting out images like this, because I can now change things around a little bit. Sunny but rain. You use your scan and cut. Oh, Sarah, look, I know it would be 100 times quicker, but I just keep forgetting. Right, let's have a think. I've got these leaves as well, which I want to bring in at some point. Oh, I'll cut them out. So I want to go for that orangey red colour again and stamp this one on and bring it back in. So, and then I will finish this off after the live, because you could lose me cutting this all out and layering it all up, but to give you an idea. So let's put that there. I'm all for quick colouring, I have to be honest. I'm very jealous of those people who can do all that beautiful layered colouring and, you know, add all the shadow and depth. I just find half of my, after about 10 minutes I'm bored, or half my image has all that lovely shadowing and depth, and then I'm bored. And then the other half looks very neglected. A bit like, you know, like Two-Face from Batman. Half his face is is one thing, the other half is another. Right, let's pull it up there. Let's pull that there. We've got that there. And then I want to put that orange in there. I've got the green going on in there. I'm going to pull that a little bit in front, as you can see, and gradually build up her whole headdress so it will go. Right, I'm going to use, I won't cut this out, I'm just going to roughly position it and then I'll cut it out properly. I've got that bit that can go and sit right to the top up there. Oh, look at that eye. I forgot about that eye. I'll roughly cut it out. There we go. And then I can put that hiding in there. Bring that a little bit forward. And we've got, I think we've got to use that one. Let's just cut it out roughly. And then I'm going to put the purple behind there and move that green up. I've got the eye and then I've got the green. And then I've stamped a mixture of the little flowers on the different colours, which I will cut out and add. So I'm going to put her there and build this all up, and then I will put an edge of some description all the way around. And then what I was going to do was I was just going to do with the stencils huge blocks where I can put journaling in, and then whatever colours I've got left over, like I've got loads of backgrounds like this, so I could trim the background down and have a block with a black edging around with a quote or a word stamped in it or something like that, but keep the starkness of the white so all the brightness of the images stands out. I hope that makes sense to everyone. So that was the plan in my head. So, and build it all up, and then I've got my gel medium here to stick it down, and I thought I'd go for a matte gel medium rather than a gloss, or I might use a mixture of gloss on some and matte on the other to give a contrast. So I'll carry on building this up and I'll colour her in, I'll colour Lily May in, and then I will doodle a border around there, and then she's going to go in my big journal as a completed page. So thank you ever so much for your company. Sorry I've waffled on for so long. I'm just reading. We had a most terrible storm earlier with hail. Johannesburg. Oh, wow. That sounds brilliant. Johannesburg. Whoa. So I will catch up with all your comments. Anyone who won a prize off me, they're all ready to go. Post office doesn't open here till tomorrow, and I will get them down the post office and get them in. I don't know what the post is doing now. I know for a fact that we have bits that people have sent us that still haven't arrived before Christmas, but I'm not going to moan. Yeah, they have loads going on, bless them. But like I said, I'll build this up. I don't know what quotes I'm going to do, and I think I need to put her on a colour background, because like I've got these sort of bits, so I'll colour them where she can go, or she can be surrounded by flowers, and I'll share when I've actually finished. So grab your inks. Doesn't have to be oxides. If you've got spray inks, do it with spray inks. Grab your scraps, just create loads on, and don't even think about the card you're using. Like I said, I've used a mixture of absolutely everything, and just stamp, and then start with your flower stamps, you know, like green for your leaves, flowers, and build up collage and something like that, and just have fun. It's a great way of getting messy, but messy with a purpose. I know for some people doing mixed media and journaling and things like that can be, well, what am I going to use it for? But this is allowing you to get messy, but then turn it into something, whether it's a card, a canvas, or whatever you would like. All right. Well, thanks ever so much for your company, as I said. Got lots going on this week before I go. We've got lots going on tomorrow. We've got 2 or 3 new guests this week, so thank you ever so much to them. And then on on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, we've got other bits and pieces going on. So we've got lives going on both those days as well. And we'll also have the chatty posts going back up. And we've got a couple of games going up on both days. Now, I am doing the games on both days, but I am not around. So by all means, tag me, and I will try and answer when I can. If not, tag one of the other admin, and they'll answer the best they can as well. All right. Oh, I've just seen Jane's comment. They had to deep clean sorting office in Canterbury. 14 workers had COVID. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've got a one of the people in our village is a postman, and he was saying the difficulty they've got in their sorting office is that they've got to work half shifts, because whereas they like they'd have 30 people sorting, now because of social distances they could only have 15, so they're always perpetually behind because they've never got the full quota on to help. Oh, such a shame, isn't it? Right, I'll stop waffling. So the timetable will go up on Wednesday night for the 2 days, for the lives that are going on, and all the different games and the chatty posts and so on and so forth. All right. So I'm not going to be really around in the group as much this week, but I will definitely be next week. So have a really cool week, everyone. And as always, thank you so much for your company. Have fun, be good to yourselves, and be safe.